Class interview questions and answers. Beginner means advanced. Introduction. A class is a blueprint or template used in object-oriented programming, OOP, to create objects. Classes are widely used for encapsulation, abstraction, reusable code, object modeling, inheritance, polymorphism. Classes are fundamental in languages such as Java, C++, Python, C#. 1 to 20. Class basics. What is a class? A class is a blueprint for creating objects. What is an object? Instance of a class. Code organization. Reusability. Abstraction. Maintainability. What is object-oriented programming? OOP. Programming paradigm based on objects and classes. Main OOP principles. C. Encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction. Basic Java class example. Public class user. What is class member? Variable or method inside class. What is field attribute? Variable belonging to class. Field example. Private string name. What is method? Function inside class. Method example public void greet. Dot. What is constructor? Special method initializing object. Constructor example. Public user. What is default constructor? Constructor automatically provided if none exists. What is parameterized constructor? Public user string name. What is this keyword? Refers to current object instance. This example. This dot name equals name. What is instance variable? Variable unique to each object. What is local variable? Variable inside method block. Structure describing object properties and behavior. 21 to 40. Access modifiers and encapsulation. What is encapsulation? Hiding internal implementation details. Why is encapsulation important? Security, maintainability, controlled access. What are access modifiers in Java? Public, private, protected, default. What is private member? Accessible only inside class. Accessible from anywhere. What is protected member? Accessible within package and subclasses. What is getter method? Public string get name. What is setter method? Public void set name, string name. Why use getters and setters? Validation, encapsulation, controlled access. What is immutable class? Class whose objects cannot change after creation. Immutable class example. Final class user. What is final class? Class that cannot be inherited. What is static variable? Shared variable across all objects. Static variable example. Static int count. What is static method? Method callable without object creation. Static method example. Public static void main, string args. What is instance method? Method requiring object instance. What is nested class? Class defined inside another class. What is inner class? Non-static nested class. What is anonymous class? Class without explicit name. 41 to 70. Inheritance, polymorphism, and abstraction. What is inheritance? Child class acquiring parent behavior. Inheritance example. Class dog extends animal. What is superclass? Parent base class. Child derived class. What is method overriding? Redefining parent method in child class. Overriding example. At override. What is polymorphism? Same method behaving differently. Types of polymorphism. Compile time. What is method overloading? Multiple methods with same name but different parameters. Overloading example. Add int A, int B. Overloading versus overriding. Overloading changes parameters. Overriding changes implementation. What is abstraction? Hiding unnecessary implementation details. What is abstract class? Class that cannot be instantiated directly. Abstract class example. Abstract class animal. What is abstract method? Method without implementation. Abstract method example. Abstract void sound. What is interface? Contract defining behavior. Interface example. Interface, flyable interface versus abstract class. Interface defines contract. Abstract class provides partial implementation. What is multiple inheritance? Inheriting from multiple parents. Does Java support multiple class inheritance? No, through interfaces only. What is composition? Building classes using other classes. Composition example. Class car. Engine. Composition models has a. Inheritance models is a. What is association? Relationship between classes. What is aggregation? Weak ownership relationship. What is dependency? One class temporarily using another. What is object lifecycle? Creation, usage, and destruction of objects. What is garbage collection? Automatic memory cleanup. What is constructor chaining? Calling one constructor from another. 71 to 100. Advanced class concepts. Constructor chaining example, this. What is super keyword? Refers to parent class. Super example, super access. What is copy constructor? Constructor copying another object. What is singleton class? Class allowing only one object instance. Singleton example, private static singleton instance. What is factory pattern? Object creation extraction pattern. What is POJO? Plain old Java object. What is DTO? Data transfer object. What is entity class? Class map to database table. What is serialization? Converting object into storable format. Restoring object from serialized form. What is equals method? Compares object equality. What is hash code? Generates hash value for object. Why override equals and hash code together? Maintain collection consistency. What is toString? Returns object string representation. What is deep copy? Recursively copying nested objects. What is shallow copy? Copying object references. Common class interview topics. Constructors, inheritance, polymorphism, encapsulation, interfaces. Common OOP problems. Tight coupling, deep inheritance, poor encapsulation. Best practices for classes. Capital S, single responsibility. Proper encapsulation. Meaningful naming. What is solid principle? OOP design principles for maintainable software. What is single responsibility principle? Class should have one responsibility. What is coupling? Dependency between classes. What is cohesion? Relatedness of class functionality. High cohesion versus low cohesion. High cohesion improves maintainability. How to become strong in classes and OOP. Build projects. Practice design patterns. Understand object relationships. Biggest class interview concept? Modeling real-world entities using OOP principles. Key class interview focus. Encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, and object relationships. Why are classes important? Classes enable scalable, reusable, and maintainable object-oriented software design. Final summary. Class interviews focus on OOP principles, constructors and methods, encapsulation and access modifiers, inheritance and polymorphism, abstraction and interfaces, object relationships, design principles, reusable architecture. Key idea. Strong developers understand how to design clean, maintainable, reusable object-oriented systems using classes and OOP principles.